LA Rams draft history in the McSnead era. So, Sean McVay, Les Snead together since 2017. We've been, they've been commanding our organization and doing a great job at it. And I just want to take a little look here. If you go to the draft history, and I'm looking at Eat, Drink, and Sleep Football. So some kind of, you can look through this website here and you see the draft history. But if you look into, I'll just summarize a few things that stick out to me when I look at it. So 4 out of 5 first picks by the Rams over the past 5 years, not first round picks, we don't have those, but either second or third round picks. 4 out of the 5 have been on the offensive side of the ball. The only defensive player that we've drafted would be safety Taylor Rapp in 2019. They took in the second round. So there's a very good chance that the Rams will be looking for best player available in that third round, and I could see I could see them taking a running back, maybe if he's really talented, or a tight end, or a very talented offensive line prospect. But that being said, I also want to point out, in the McSnead era of draft, they have only drafted 6 offensive linemen. And let me bring up that chart again here. And I will point out that if you look at this here, we did not draft any offensive linemen in 2021. None at all. In 2020, we drafted one, Tremaine Ingram, who was a guard. So we haven't drafted a tackle in over 2 years. In 2019, we did draft Bobby Evans and also David Edwards, who, again, they're great, and we're glad we have them in. So the Rams believe in their ability to develop talent on the offensive line. If you look at the 2018 draft, we had a center, Brian Allen, who's our starting center right now, in the 4th round. And then they drafted a guard there, Jamil Demby. And then they also, in their first draft, they did not draft any offensive linemen. So I know that a lot of Ram fans, they really want us to draft an offensive lineman, but I do want to, respect that, maybe the Rams as an organization, they just believe in their ability to develop, undrafted and late round linemen as much as, drafting someone in the, the 3rd or the 4th round. But it'll be interesting to see. I also want to point out, we've drafted 6 wide receivers in the past 5 years, and we've drafted some really good ones. So I don't know if wide receiver is something we really need, and I think it would be, we'd only draft a wide receiver if someone fell that was just too good of a value to not draft. So that's something to kind of look out for. But I don't think wide receiver will be high on the Rams draft board. I also want to point out, in the 5 years that Les Snead and Sean McVay have been drafting players together, 4 out of the 5 years, the Rams have drafted a running back at some point in the draft. And the only year they didn't draft one was McVay's first year in 2017, where we still had the great tandem of Todd Gurley and Malcolm Brown on our roster. So I think there's still another good chance that we draft a running back. The fact that we haven't signed veteran Sony Michel kind of bodes well for that theory. So there's some running backs that will probably fall later in the draft. That's something to look out for. And then my final point that I want to make about kind of draft history for the Rams that I just found fascinating is that 8 out of the 9 third-round picks are still with the Rams. And the only one who isn't is safety John Johnson, who signed a mega deal with the Cleveland Browns. So this team has been crushing the 3rd round of the draft pretty much this whole regime under Sean McVay and Les Snead. And I really, am excited for this 3rd round pick at pick 104. And they have a better track record with third-round picks than some teams do with first-round picks. So when your scouting department is that talented, that's just a huge advantage to your organization that I'm very thankful that the Rams will be able to take advantage of. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about the Rams draft history? I'm going to take some comments from you guys before we get to our next topic here.